His experience, he's so smart. He have everything in a fighter, a complete fighter. He don't have power in the punches, but sometimes when you that kind of fighter, you don't need it.
He knows distance well, and I don't think the other guys can like reach him or capitalize off of it.
Now, everybody's saying decision. Could a stoppage be on the table? Because you said like frustrate him.
Yeah, for sure. A stoppage is always in the works. These guys fighting with ounces on no head gear. Anything can happen. It's boxing. Just be himself. Be him. Don't listen to the crowd. Don't listen to these fans. Don't listen to these haters and these son daughters. Just be him. Do what he do best, and that's one.
He's more of a fighter. Like he's a ring generalship. He's in there thinking. He's calm. He's having fun because Teo's been proving it before. And I gotta emphasize this. If someone can pull it off, it's definitely Teofimo Lopez. If Teofimo Lopez doesn't do it, I don't see who is gonna be Shakur Stevenson.
Numerous boxing professionals contend that Teofimo Lopez could effortlessly annihilate Shakur Stevenson because Lopez's ring intellect, rapid mobility, and hostile methodology might overpower Stevenson's more technical, protective strategy. Pure tactical dominance awaits.
Teofimo showed you that he can fight inside, he can fight outside. He would have the advantage of power in this fight. You know one thing that I love about this fight, Bud? Shakur's very athletic, very talented. So is Teofimo. He's more explosive with power, but Teofimo is very athletic. He is very talented. You got two athletic guys, two talented guys. Again, Teofimo I would favor with the power. This is going to be interesting.
Athletes and specialists highlight Teofimo's organic proportions and power as significant benefits, particularly against the gifted but slighter adversary like Shakur Stevenson. Physicality could decide everything.
He's a very special athlete, and as a competitor, he is one of those guys who saves his A game for a fellow elite opponent. That's when he really rises his game and shows us the Teofimo Lopez that everybody thought he was when he was a prospect. People used to look at him and say, oh, this guy is going to be the star in boxing. It didn't really play out that way, but every now and then he reminds us how special he is.
Teofimo is a two-division Ring Magazine champion. In both fights where he won the Ring Magazine championship, he was the underdog. 4-1 underdog against Lomachenko. People forget, Lomachenko was taking elite fighters in the lower divisions and they were quitting.
Yes.
He was beating them into some, they were like, I can't do this, right? And Teofimo beat him, right? He outboxed him.
Yeah, he didn't do it by physically imposing himself on him.
He outboxed him, he outfought him, he had speed, power, and then again, against Josh Taylor at junior welterweight, he was the underdog, so he saves his best for his biggest moment.
Lopez personally asserted that he intends to render the bout messy and compelled trades utilizing bulk and force at 140 pounds to disrupt Stevenson's flow and deliver massive strikes, conceivably resulting in a knockout instead of a gradual points victory. Absolute destruction incoming.
He's a very talented, skillful, technique fighter.
Yeah.
Can't take anything away from it. However, scared to get hit. Scared to get knocked out in front of the world. Scared to get touched up in front of the world.
Are you saying that off of the last fight or just
in general?
In general.
In general.
Yeah.
In general. Me and Shakur sparred before. We did 3 rounds, and it was just light work. And me trying to figure out his jab. Does he have a good jab? Yeah, he does. But once you pass his jab, it's game.
According to Shane Mosley, Stevenson might be committing a massive blunder by plunging into a battle with such a volatile combatant at 140 pounds. The apprehension isn't regarding Shakur's gift, but concerning how his physique will react after accumulating mass. A high-risk transition.
I don't think that, well, maybe. I mean, Shakur might show some different, if he has to go after Teofimo, he might show some different type of heart that we haven't seen, or different type of fighting we haven't seen, and vice versa. You know, whereas Teofimo's hitting him with different shots off the angle, that is kind of giving, you know, Shakur Stevenson trouble. We'll see about that. So we just don't know.
Yeah, the thing is I think people overlook of Teofimo is he can box when he wants to. Like, he's shown he has a slick style too when he wants to do that.
When he wants to do that. So if you have a slick style and you got power and you got the speed too, and you're fighting at 140, so let's see. I don't know if Shakur Stevenson's going to get slower moving up in weight or not, where Teofimo can hit him. Maybe he was really fast at 130, 26-30, maybe 35, but 40, you put on a little bit more weight. I think that he holds the weight probably really, really good, but you just don't know.
Boxers who moved up in weight warned that Stevenson could look much slower at 140, losing the fast feed and quick moves that make him great, while Lopez stays very fast, strong, and powerful at this bigger weight. It is a big risk.
Put this scenario, what if it's the Teofimo that beat Lomachenko? What if that Teofimo shows up?
Like I said, and Lomachenko is a not easy fight. Teofimo was able to be in the ring with different type of fighters and figure it out. The fighters that Shakur Stevenson was in with, they couldn't figure it out or get close to figuring it out. Whereas Teofimo had to figure out that type of style, and Lomachenko is a hard fight to fight. So that's why this fight is so interesting. And for Shakur Stevenson to move up to 140 to fight him is definitely a hats off to him.
Do you have a favorite on paper in that fight at all, Shane?
I believe it's 50-50. It's a fight that I just have to sit down and watch and just want to see, like I said, who imposed their will on the.
Experts like Andre Ward think that small things, how they fight, timing, and being fit will pick the winner because both boxers are very close and very good at this high level.
Respect them both because Teo knows it's going to be a real fight. Shakur knows it's going to be a real fight. And I look at Shakur like a fighter who has a blank canvas. He's got the IQ, he got the experience, and the athleticism and the skill set where he can paint any type of picture he wants to on a blank canvas. When I look at Teofimo Lopez, he's almost that. He has a blank canvas, but he needs an outline on what to draw and what to paint inside the line. Now, every now and again, he'll go away from the outline that he has and he'll do something dope and you'll be like, oh, that was cool. That wasn't on the outline right there. But I don't think that he can create on the fly like a Shakur Stevenson. But what he does bring to the table and what Shakur does have to deal with is explosive power, quick twitch, muscles, and the type of punches that he likes to throw. And Teo doesn't have the foot game that Shakur has, but he's got a decent foot game.
Max Kellerman says that Shakur has more to lose because he is undefeated and very skilled. Teofimo has more to win as the underdog, where he has less pressure and more chances, making this big fight very scary and hard to guess.
Shakur is fighting to protect that perfect record, to protect that kind of sense that he's the next guy. On the other hand, Teo is like he can fight with more abandon against Shakur because there's so much for him to gain. And if he loses, he's lost before. He's lost to Cam.
Paulie Malignaggi says that Shakur Stevenson is very hard to beat because he is so good at defense. But he also thinks if Teofimo Lopez fights his very best, he can win and surprise everyone in this big match.
Is at his most dangerous when he's counted out. And this is going to be one of those fights where he's going to be counted out. Because Shakur is looked at by and large as the guy who can dominate boxing in this generation, right? It's just a matter of him getting the opportunity. I myself have felt that he's the guy who could and should be dominating boxing if he gets the right matchups. But bro, this is one of the rare matchups, if not maybe the only matchup, where I feel like it's a big threat here to Shakur. And then they would all come undone only because of this reason. Teofimo Lopez, we've seen him at his best, but he typically brings out his best characteristics when he's back against the wall and he's counted out. And he's going to be counted out in this fight. By and large, people are going to side with Shakur in this fight to win the fight because he's the more consistent fighter, he's the more class fighter overall, and he's just so damn good. There's just something about Teofimo, man. He brings out a different level and somehow supersedes that guy who is that damn good. I've seen it. We've seen it already. I'm not saying anything that anybody else hasn't already seen, okay? I'm just stipulating it. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know who wins this fight. Because again, your better head says Shakur, but then you think about, man, Teofimo, again,
He's got the X factor.
What I just explained.
He's got the talent to
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Shakur is extremely talented and could be the face of boxing as far as being that good and being that dominant, even though no matter how good you are. But this is one of the rare fights where you can get beat. And I don't ever want to hear any of you tank nut huggers that he fights one Uber driver after another. If Shakur Stevenson loses this fight, I don't ever want to hear any of you saying, oh, well, what about Shakur now with tank this?
While Teofimo's speed and power give him a good chance, he must be ready for Shakur Stevenson's great defense and movement. These help Shakur stay far away, make Lopez angry, and stay safe from any big and heavy punches.
With that being said, then what does Teo got to do to win?
He has to get Shakur up. How would I say this? I don't want to just make it seem like come across as if Shakur is novice, but the times that Shakur is putting himself against the ropes, this is the time that Teofimo is going to have to depend on his explosiveness. He's going to have to depend on his offset lead right hands. He's going to have, but even doing that, everything with Teo comes off his front foot, his explosiveness, his speed, everything. So it's almost like whenever the times he gets Shakur up against the rope, he got to pick his shots well, but then after that, he have to be ready to defend because with Shakur, the return is always coming. So he got to go into the offensive lane, but he have to go into it with good defense, which in my opinion, he really don't do that good when he's going into offense. He usually come in to an offense lane, like with his lead hand down, coming with head movement. But I just believe when he do get closer to Shakur, he's going to have to overload with work. He's going to have to really double up with one hand. He's going to have to use his feet, bust angles, things of that nature. So
Devin Haney says for Teofimo Lopez to win against Shakur Stevenson, he must stay busy and move forward more during the match. Lopez is very fast and strong, which is scary, but in his last fights, he did not throw enough punches. This lets a fast and smart fighter like Stevenson take control of the whole game. Stevenson is very good at moving away and hitting back, so Lopez must throw many more punches and keep attacking instead of waiting for one big shot. Being busy will mess up Stevenson's pace and stop him from using his defense. This defense usually makes other fighters very upset. Lopez needs to keep the pressure on from the start until the very end.
Fight for boxing. I'm excited to see that. Styles make fights. I think Shakur is just a more superior boxer. I think that Teo is athletic and he has skills, but I see Shakur winning.
You think Teo to win a fight like that would have to be a little bit more active? It seems like he likes to throw one punch at a time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he could be athletic, but I think he would just have to be, it would have to be a method to his madness for sure. I don't think athletic would just.
Teofimo Lopez says he will not let Shakur Stevenson take the belt he worked very hard to get. He talks about how hard he tried, saying the title shows years of pain and being brave. For Teofimo, this fight is about keeping what he made with hard work. He believes in himself and wants to stay the winner in the ring. Lopez feels this is personal because of his pride and effort, and says that nobody can take away something he earned with his blood and hard work. He's ready to fight and show everyone that he is the best and will keep his big prize.
Exactly. Of being in the ring.
Yes.
Shakur Stevenson. Obviously, you guys are both in Las Vegas. I'm hearing that you did link up today. A face-off happened between the two of you?
Face-off happened. Things of that nature. Just to create the things that are in motion already. So we're really adamant about fighting each other next, and I can't wait for us to really lace it up. And I see him across the ring, and really when that bell rings, lights out for him.
What's it like seeing him now kind of face to face? When you look at him, what do you see? Because obviously you're not locked in just yet, and the closer it gets to a fight, obviously things turn a little bit. But when you do look at Shakur, what do you think of him?
I think I don't think too much of it. You know, I think that he believes in himself. That's one thing. But I'm here to destroy his dreams and all that he wants to do and become. You can't take this from me. I worked very hard for it. I've bled for this, you know, and I'm not taking nothing from him, but I just believe that what's gonna happen next is for destiny in the boxing ring to decide. Let the people really see what it was and has always been: the best fighting the best, and the winner becomes the man or the woman.
Yeah. Look, fighting Shakur Stevenson, he is an exceptional fighter. He comes under a lot of criticism, though, for his style of fighting. Some people describe him as a boring fighter. How do you think the fight between you two will play out, and what do you think needs to happen to negate people saying that about that fight?
No, that's a thoughtful question. You know, honestly, it's a real nice assessment to see how everyone looks at a certain fighter, right? And I think that holds on to Shakur Stevenson when people say he's boring or he's not as entertaining. And I think that with a fighter like himself, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's undefeated for a reason, you know. Maybe some people don't like it, but this is why the takeover is here, you know, to make it at least fun and make it great and do what I can to engage on that. Now, how do we do that?
Bruce Carrington is a smart boxer who sees a problem for Teofimo Lopez when he fights Shakur Stevenson. He says Lopez has a hard time with fighters who move a lot and stay at a safe distance. Even though Lopez is very strong and fast, he has trouble when people change their position and do not stay in one spot. Stevenson is very calm and smart, so he can use this to make Lopez miss his big punches or get very angry. Carrington thinks if Stevenson moves well and stays in control, he can stop Lopez from using his power. This would make Lopez fight the way Stevenson wants, instead of being fast and scary. Shakur must stay very smart and keep moving his feet to win this big and tough match.
I feel like Teo is going to bring the fight. He's very athletic. You know, he has a lot of explosiveness, and but I do feel like when it comes to Shakur, bro, his movement may frustrate him. The only thing that worries me when it comes to Teofimo is his frustration. Like, is he going to be able to work well with a mover? You know, we've seen, you know, difficulties that he had with Sandor Martin. We've seen the difficulties that he had with Jimmy Ortiz, guys that's been moving around and not staying still. Like, if you keep Teo moving around and he can't plant his feet, what can he do? We're going to have to find that out on, you know, January 31st. And I think Shakur, he's probably one of the best guys to, you know, move his feet, be on defense, being hella patient and frustrating a fighter, bro. Like, so we got to see what his mentality is going to be like come January 31st.
Do you think that his experience on the biggest of stages, you know, his two biggest wins, he was an underdog. Then both guys, ironically enough, were southpaws like Shakur. That play any factor to you, man?
Nah, styles is different. The styles are totally different. Lomachenko don't fight like Shakur. Josh Taylor don't fight like Shakur. Like I don't see, just because southpaw, that same thing will happen. I feel like certain techniques could be used to fight Shakur, yeah. But in terms of like that approach of the fight, nah. Like Shakur fights totally different. You gotta be able to do some out of pocket stuff with Shakur. You gotta throw while he's throwing. That's probably some of the only times that he's able to get hit. You know, only time he's open.
Greg Hackett gives a smart guess for the Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez fight. He thinks Shakur will win by points because he's very smart and stays in control. But he also says that boxing is a surprise and Teofimo can still win. Hackett says that Teofimo is very fast and strong, and one big hit could change the whole game. Still, Shakur's hard work and being ready make him the favorite. He thinks Shakur knows that Teofimo is dangerous, so he will train harder than before, because this is a huge match for both men. With two great fighters at their best, Hackett sees this as a big meeting where they must be their best. Anything can happen in the ring when these two stars finally fight each other soon.
I think Shakur. Yeah, my first mind told me Shakur, and I thought about it. Yeah, I'm picking Shakur by decision, but because this is fighting, anything can happen. You can't count Teo out. So there is thoughts sometimes that cross my brain, like, damn, what if Teo catch him like real good though? You know what I mean? And hurt him, or what if he just out hustling? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a lot of across my mind, but I still like Shakur for the dub. I like Shakur for the dub because he knows how to win. Like, he knows how to win. You know what I'm saying? And he's always prepared to win. So, and I think Shakur respects Teo to the point where he gonna train like he's never trained before. Because this is a great fight for him. This is probably the best fight of his career. When you put Magic and Bird together, happens. You know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of situation it is. Magic Johnson was nice, but Larry Bird was nice. You put them together, you get a nice game. You know what I mean? So you put these two together, you get a nice fight.
Is this one of the fights that we're going to remember historically? Like, is this a, you know,
to go back and
it's
study.
19, it's 19, when did Leonard and Hearns first fight? Is this one of them?
That shit was like 87 or some shit. Yeah.
It's 19.
Like 87 or something.
No, it had to be earlier than that, right?
84 maybe.
One? Yeah, like
I don't know, because he was in the 76 Olympics. Well, no, 70.
Wasn't it 78?
No, they didn't fight in 78.
No, I'm saying 78 Olympics, wasn't he?
Probably 78 or some shit.
Teofimo Lopez has big power, size, and moves forward a lot. He has shown he can hurt people who stay close and fight back. But many experts said he has a hard time with boxers who move around and change their spots. Shakur Stevenson is very good at staying far away, moving his feet and hitting at the right time. He uses these skills to make strong fighters upset and stay safe from big hits. If Stevenson keeps Lopez moving and makes him start his attacks over and over, Lopez might miss many punches and get angry. Stevenson's smart plan and good moving could stop Lopez's power and make it very hard for Lopez to fight his way. This will be a very smart game for both great boxers.
Shakur Stevenson can win this on points, Spencer, but he's going to have to be at his very, very best. As we look at these images of the two men, this is the fight that ignites the American market this year. It's obviously got the backing of Turki Al Sheikh, Ring Magazine. The key for me is, can Shakur be big enough to withstand what Teo is going to bring physically as well as psychologically and technically in this fight?
Absolutely, and that's the fascination surrounding this fight. You look at this one and you say, Shakur Stevenson, if he can step up another weight division and become 4-weight world champion, this is his chance now to become that superstar, that all-time great. You know, not just a generational great, but an all-time great. And I've really believed that. Like I've always said, Shakur Stevenson for me will emerge as this great fighter, and I think this is his fight right now. I think that he wins this fight as well.
What do you think will happen when Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson finally fight each other?